All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we'll be diving into the crypto gaming market. And today I'm going to do something that we've really never done here on In the Game. And I'm going to give you a really hard graded, based off metrics like tokenomics, upside potential, team, game, product, things on the way in the ecosystem, capital runway, everything considered. I'm going to give you 12 tokens here, 12 of the top crypto gaming, NFT gaming projects out there in the markets. We're going to rank their tokens from S to D tier. So you're going to get my full-blown tier list here on some top 12 projects across the industry. This is going to be fun. I'm going to be a hard grader, and I'm going to give you the exact reasons why each project falls within each tier. So without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you don't play, but ain't a mistake. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you don't play, but ain't here to play. If you get lost, show you the way.
And let's get right into it. Be sure to drop down and hit the like button if you enjoy the video. Let me know your tier list maybe in the comment section down below, and subscribe to the channel for daily videos here on Crypto Banter. Quick shout out to all of our sponsors: Myria, leading L2 and gaming platform across Web3 gaming; Animoca Brands, one of the biggest native Web3 gaming companies in the world; Unix Gaming, one of the biggest crypto gaming infrastructures in the space; MEXC, the official exchange of the In the Game show; and Spintop, the official gaming index, Guildmaker, Gamepedia of the In the Game show. You can check the description down below for more information on all of our sponsors. Let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to not waste any time. I told you my parameters at the very beginning, and I am going to be a hard grader. Now, we're going to start with Decentraland. So Decentraland, very OG metaverse in the space. And I really think that the token we're going to talk about after it has really overtaken it as far as upside potential, partnerships, product. The things that they are doing over at the Sandbox far outweigh the things going on in Decentraland. Full disclosure, I think Decentraland's experience is a little buggy, a little laggy at times. And I think that the experience inside of Sandbox also kind of has more to do. So for these reasons, I am going to put Decentraland here at D tier in my rank. So we're going to start off with a D tier for Decentraland. And that is just based off, I'm going to be a hard grader. And I think that the product that Sandbox has been putting together, and the tokenomics behind Sandbox, the partnerships, everything coming in to build, it seems like every metaverse-oriented Web2 company that wants to come in and get involved goes right to the Sandbox. The tokenomics are fantastic. It is the 7x that it did last year. We're now back below levels that where we started the bull run, basically at that 80. You know, we're really in a really good price range. So I think for Sandbox, I will put this in the A tier. I think that the tokenomics won't have too much downside potential long term, especially for the state of the metaverse now. They are definitely in the lead and kind of the Minecraft of crypto gaming. Now we'll talk about Polygon. So Polygon, as you know, partners with Meta, Disney, Facebook. You know, with Meta, that means Facebook, Instagram, and their official metaverse. They just partnered up with Reddit for their NFTs, Mercedes, Starbucks loyalty program, and with the games coming with Dr. Disrespect's game and all the top tier projects that are moving over to Polygon, Ryan Wyatt from YouTube Gaming, safe to say Polygon does make my S tier. Polygon is probably my top project on this entire list. If you watch the show, you know I'm incredibly bullish on Polygon. The tokenomics are incredible, and there's not a lot of difference in the diluted market caps. So I'm going to put Polygon squarely in the S tier. Ultra. Now, Ultra is one of my absolute favorite projects across this space, and it is about 10x from all-time highs at this very moment. So you're getting a value, like you're looking at value, and the market cap is at a very solid spot. Team's been together for 20 plus years in the gaming industry. Unique Marketplace is live, as well the Ultra Games platform, which is like the Steam, the distribution platform of crypto gaming, which is going to have 50 plus game publishers. That is on the way. And I'm going to, because of the hard grading, even though it is one of my favorite projects, I will put it in the B tier. So we're setting standards here. We are setting standards here. So, we have Polygon at the S tier, top tier. Right now, Sandbox is in that second tier for me, in the A tier. And then we're looking at Ultra in B tier, and then Decentraland in the D tier. Now, let's get into some, one that really was the OG in the crypto gaming industry. And we have to give our applauses, right? We have to give our golf claps over to Axie Infinity, because they really set the tone for this industry and lit it on fire. But I'm going to keep it short. At this very moment in time, there's not a lot of upside potential. It is over 10x from its all-time high. And in a bad way, SLP is completely dead. And in my opinion, SLP is never going to come back. So for these reasons, ode to Axie Infinity. There's nothing against their project, but I think that the token has absolutely seen its best days. And I don't know that that should be at the top of your investment list or your watch list whenever you're getting around to the time to start your DCAs. Now let's look at Seedify. So Seedify, if you're looking at a bull market, Seedify is probably one of the most bullish tokens out there, because everyone wants those pieces of the IGOs, the initial game offerings that Seedify does offer. Last year, multiple tokens on their platforms did 100Xs, 50Xs, 25Xs, and that's for the investors that want to get really early access to tokens. Now, in a bear market, it's really hard to justify. It's really hard to justify holding it because the IGOs slow down. But at the same time, there's a lot of upside in accumulating it, because you have to stake it during launchpad season to be able to get those IGOs. So if that's something that interests you, and their Seedify NFTs, the avatars are coming out, which look absolutely sharp. I believe their collection goes live very soon. And Seedify used to sponsor the show. We love the guys over at Seedify, and their platform from the launchpad, the avatars coming out, everything that they're doing with the Seedify NFTs. I think that this will land firmly and be the first project to fall in the C tier, which is going to be above Decentraland and Axie Infinity. But for me, right below Ultra and the Sandbox. Now let's talk about Gala Games. Gala Games has so much going for it. We all know 16 games right now listed on their platform. Superior just got approved not only to be on Epic, but it's also going to be on the Steam marketplace. And if you look back a year ago, Steam said no to NFT games. So they're maybe welcoming those games that are going to have Web 2 on-ramps, login and password, be able to come into those games and actually utilize it, be able to play it. And Steam's going to actually test it. And this shows mass adoption in the space. Grit's coming to the Epic Game Store Battle Royale H1Z1 style platform, from the movies, the music, the games. My only potential downside would be the tokenomics, the market cap, and the fully diluted, especially in a bear market like we're in right now, don't really justify the best hold. But I think long term, especially in the good climate, whenever crypto gaming does come back around as well, the narrative, the people who are watching this show and that are in the crypto gaming industry still are some of the most bought in the entire industry. After all the crashes we saw from these original Ponzi-nomics in these games, after the $600 million Axie hack, these games that we're just waiting on. But you have to have patience. This is a potential multi-decade opportunity. And for these reasons, Gala will land in the A tier. But my only downside would be the fact that diluted market cap. Be super, super careful if you are going to be holding Gala in a climate macroeconomically like we've been in for the last few months, because the downside potential from that diluted market cap becomes very risky in those time periods. Now let's talk about Illuvium. So kind of like Axie, Illuvium was one of those first name brand projects in the space. Super sharp looking game. The auto battler, catching Illuvials, the overworld gameplay looks absolutely spectacular. Kieran and the team over there, phenomenal team. But I would actually have to, and I'll justify, when you're looking at the tokens, this is a token ranking. This is not a project ranking, right? We are not talking about ranking best projects, best games. We are talking about crypto gaming token upside here and their tokenomics, team, gameplay, product, everything considered, the crypto gaming token tier list. Whenever I'm looking at Illuvium, it is going to have to fall in the D tier. Why is it falling in the D tier? We're going to put it probably at the second in the D tier here, because I think the tokenomics at Decentraland are a little better. So the reason being is the tokenomics here. There's the unlocks over the next, X amount of months, year even, are going to be absolutely insane on the top of Illuvium. It's just going to really suffocate the price. We've seen it almost suffer more than any other crypto gaming project out there as far as price. I think the all-time high was $1,800. And when you're looking at the token now and you're still looking at those fully diluted market caps, it's just not a safe token to be investing in. I'm super bullish on the product, but I am not super bullish on the token, especially in this type of a market climate. And Immutable X is going to have the same downfall a little bit. The tokenomics at Immutable X don't support the best. The unlocks are going to be consistent. Now, Robbie did recently tweet they're going to try to slow down the unlocks, lock up some of the ecosystem funds and the team funds, the team's not selling any, etc. So that's actually really strong. So for that reason, I will actually probably set Immutable X in the C tier, because they are doing active things to try to minimize that downside risk, because they understand. One of the recent unlocks was where it was slated to release 50% of the tokens. Like, the token supply would have almost doubled in one unlock. You could see the downside potential when all the investors get their hands on that and they would be able to sell the product. GameStop even sold their tokens off the token grant. That was something that infamously happened. They got that multi-million-dollar grant. They immediately dumped the tokens and tanked the price. So we know the downside risk here. So that will firmly fall in the C tier, right behind Seedify, due to tokenomics. But obviously, Immutable X is launching so many quality games from Illuvium, Ember Sword, Guild of Guardians, WAGMI Games, Undead Blocks. You could just name it. Most of the top projects are going with Polygon and Immutable X. So platform, absolute A+. For the token's sake, I'm going to put it in the C tier. Now, let's talk about Vulcan Forged. Now, Vulcan Forged has some of the most crypto gaming space. Anthony Scaramucci, Skybridge Capital, just came in and invested. Jamie Thompson and the team over there building 10+ games, bringing in other games to let launch on their platform. The Elysium blockchain, the nodes, their marketplace, their land sales consistently do very well. So whenever you look at the entire scope of the ecosystem, Vulcan Forged A+, the tokenomics, the market caps are the normal market cap is very low at the moment. The diluted still has a little ways to catch up, but it's not too risky in my opinion, because the conviction and the way that the token moves, like Vulcan Forge is one of the most aggressive movers when the market moves. If you watch Vulcan Forge, when we get these little tiny surges, it definitely is one of those high liquidity tokens, because it does find itself on Binance, unlike some crypto gaming tokens out there. So there's a lot of liquidity inside of PYR. And that really drives it during a lot of these market moves. And I think at 10x from all-time highs at this current market cap, the upside potential is huge. I am going to put it at the front of B tier. I am going to put it in the front of B tier. And I'm going to move this to A tier. I'm going to move Vulcan Forge to A tier, because the capital that they just received from Skybridge Capital, that's not normal Web3 VC. Take my money and I'll come back and check in later on. Hopefully it makes me money. If there's a bear market, I'm going to run away. Scaramucci is buying in heavily into Jamie Thompson and the Vulcan Forge team. I'm going to move them up to the A tier, and I'm going to keep that way. Second to last token that we are going to cover, Apecoin. So I think that this token, obviously, it's being looked at basically by the SEC as we're speaking and doing this show. This is the reason that they're being investigated. 100% is the Apecoin, the airdrop, the way that they went about all of that. I believe that what I've read, Yuga's going to be perfectly fine. There won't be any might be just a slap on the wrist. But at the same time, their token had a lot of upside around the land sale, because you had to accumulate it. The sale was an Apecoin. But after that, I haven't seen one single catalyst to make me think that Apecoin is going to be a realistic, viable investment, unless the market is just in a complete bullish trend. Because then it could be the meme coin of Web3 gaming, right? It could be the Doge or Sheep. A lot of people think that. Even though there's a legit product behind it. It's just the IP. It's a funny IP. The apes, the mutants, the dogs. There's so much in that ecosystem. But for me, I'm going to put this second on the D tier. I'm going to put this second on the D tier, because I just don't think, unless we're in a complete bullish climate, or there's a news event, that we're going to see much catalysts out of Apecoin itself. And then last, but certainly not least, Solana. So Solana finds itself as, they're in an interesting spot. between Polygon and Immutable X, I would say that there's a lot of games just as much almost going to Solana. I mean, Star Atlas, we've had so many games recently that are building on Solana on the show. We had Honeyland, we had Earth from Another Sun. We've had so many projects here that say that their experience on the back end as a dev is the most seamless and easy and quick, fast throughput, easy transactions. Transactions don't get stuck, and the network's not actually down as much as people think it is. I truly think that the future of Web3 gaming is super, super bullish in the Solana ecosystem. For these reasons, I'm going to put it. Now, this is where it gets hard for me. Is it alongside Polygon in my conviction, or is it going to fall at the top of the A tier? I'm going to put it at the S tier, because I think that in an accumulation standpoint, if you're looking into the markets at this very moment in time, it would land in that upside category of the S tier. So this would be my 12 token crypto gaming token tier list. So we have Polygon and Solana in the S tier, in the top tier. We have Sandbox, Gala, Vulcan Forged in the A tier, in that order. The standalone project that sees itself in the B tier, the third tier, would be Ultra. Seedify and Immutable X find themselves in the C tier. And then the D tier, which does not mean anything negative, guys. I picked 12 tokens that I genuinely, have intrigue in. We've had intrigue in over time. And I'm just giving you a realistic lens and a realistic, opinion based on all the metrics we've mentioned: tokenomics, runway, game, product, upside potential, etc. Decentraland, Apecoin, Illuvium, and Axie Infinity on the list here on the D tier. So I hope you enjoyed the tier list. Let me know what would be your S and A tiers down below. That would be my question. You don't have to give me a full-blown tier list. Let me know your S and A tier projects. So I've got 5 in that S and A tier collectively. So let me know down in the comments. I'll reply to some and give you my thoughts, as well as like the video, subscribe for more. I'll be back Friday with a big interview here to cap off the week. So without further ado, I'm out of here. Play well, my friends.
Mm-hmm.